Hello and welcome back to what is going to be the third and final part of making a book. So in the first part we did the gel press images onto this paper just to give us some papers. And what I did was use papers that I didn't like. They were 12x6 papers and I just wasn't keen on them. So I coloured them up, did double sides and ended up with 3 sheets that could be used to form a book. In part 2 we put the book together, so we looked a little bit at book binding very briefly, added in some pockets, a couple of different pockets, and then in this one what I'm going to do is just do some decorating up of the book. So I have cut out of the remaining sheets, I've used several different dies to cut these out. So this is an All and Create die. The cogs, the ampersand, the hashtags and these hearts and butterflies and circles all come from various Tim Holtz dies, Biggs dies. So let's see what we end up with. Okay, so my thought is that for the front I'm going to have this and this because I just think that they go quite nicely together. Now I'm not wanting something that's going to go pop on the front, but what I may do is actually put some form of sentiment that does go pop on the front. But to start off with, let's get these stuck down. So I'm using tacky glue and I'm using the back of the hand method. So I just need a little piece of card, which I have here and doesn't want to be lifted up, and just spread it out over the back of my hand. This is quite a fluid glue, so it does spread onto your hand quite easily. Some glues are a bit thicker and can be troublesome to spread onto your hand. This one is quite fluid, but it also will stick the paper quite firmly. So I'm going to put this roughly so that the nearest part is 5mm from the edge-ish. I'm not measuring obviously, but that's what I'm aiming for. So there's roughly 5mm. So 1/2 centimetre where the nearest 3 parts come into contact with the edge. And then I'm going to do the same with the cogs. Put a bit more glue on, spread it about a little bit, and then put the cogs in it. I think this is such an easy way to glue things. You can do it onto your craft mat or anything, but I just really like doing it onto my hand. I remember the first time I did it I was very freaked out, so it's like, no, it's getting glue all over me. Now it's just my go-to method for any sort of fine dies that I want to stick on. Anything that's got little bits where you struggle to get the glue on, I tend to use the back of the hand. Right, so I'm going to flip this and just put general pressure over it just to make sure that all the bits of it stick. This is just something that I've realised can help. So you can see now everything's stuck down. There's a little bit there that isn't, but I'll stick that down with a little bit of extra glue later on. But for now, pretty much everything's stuck down. So on this page, what do we want? Now we've got our little pocket here. What we could do is quite simply put the ampersand inside the pocket, because what you could do is then write notes on the back of the ampersand. That's a possible. I'm not quite convinced by that, but it's a maybe. My hashtags. Now one of these, I was thinking, where is it? One of these hashtags would go well on here. I think that looks quite good. So I'm going to stick that on. I'm trying not to overthink these. It's very easy to get into the mood of overthinking when you're sticking things down and going, oh, should I, shouldn't I, should I, shouldn't I? Best thing you can do, stick it down. You invariably go back to your first choice anyway, so just make the choice and stick it down. There we go. If you do get excess glue, it comes off really easily. Right, on my centre pages I quite like, I quite like having that heart there. We could have 2 hearts coming down here like this, couldn't we? Having them both come in like that. Oh yes, I like that. I'm just going to go for it. I know that I want that side to not be in contact So just put glue on half of it and then a bit less on this one, so it can overhang a little bit more. Simple. Yep, I like that. I might even put the small heart. Now, what about the butterfly? The butterfly's a bit blue. Oh, that heart might work. Yeah, I'm going to put that heart on there. This can be the heart page, the love page. Right, turn it over, we're onto the middle pages. Now, I have got a few cogs here, and I think they would look rather nice. Just coming down here. Like so. Yes, I like that. So they're small areas, so back to the back of the hand. You can get a little bit concerned about getting the glue on top of it, but in the grand scheme of things it really doesn't matter too much, so don't worry about it. The first person I ever saw doing this was Jodie from Tonic. She uses this method quite a lot, and yeah, it's just a really simple way of getting glue onto smaller areas. It saves you having to worry about the super fine nibs and things. I mean, they are out there, but I haven't got the patience to put teeny bits of glue everywhere. It's not in my DNA. Right, let's see, we can have a butterfly here, like this. Yeah, like that. I love these images because they are very, very simple. So these butterfly and heart dies are new to me. I got sent them by a crafty friend, and I think they're rather lush. Oh, that looks nice because it's got the green behind it. So I'm trying not to put on the same colour on top of each other because I don't think it shows up too well. Having said that, on the front I've done exactly that. We've got sort of some of the same colours, but I'm not bothered because I know that I can add to that. Right, we have a few cogs left. 2 little cogs, and I'm wondering if we pop that circle behind. That makes it stand out a bit more. What about this one behind as well? No, that doesn't work. But we'll put one circle behind. So I'll stick that on here, roughly there. I'll glue on my hand. If you don't like glue on your skin, just use your craft mat or use a fine nib. The reason I'm doing the little one first is because it's got the 2 pieces to it, so then we can figure out where the big one needs to go in relation to both pieces, not just one. Actually, there's probably enough still on there. So this is really very simple sticking and gluing and sticking. There's nothing complicated about what I'm doing here. Right, now we do have these here. You know what, I'm really tempted to just leave them, the little white bits. No, we'll grunge them up with a little bit of Stay-On. If in doubt, get out the Stay-On. There we go. Because the glue's still a little bit wet, it's just a little bit more challenging to get the ink on. But there we go. And what about the other bits? We'll put a little bit there. Let's just add a bit on there. Anything else that overlaps? No, I think that was it. Right, so it's decision time about the ampersand now. I think I just like it there actually. We could put it on the front there, but then you wouldn't notice there was a pocket, so I think going there would be better. That's what we'll do. It's like one of those puzzles, can you do it without taking your hand off but without crossing the line? I don't know if you could with an ampersand. I might have to try that and see. I love those single line puzzles. Oh, have you seen any of the single line pictures that some amazing artists are able to do? I find them phenomenal. Right, so now we're getting there. We're really beginning to build up the images on here, but we still need some tags. So I'm going to find some tags and we'll see what we're going to do with them. So it appears that I've been really organised and packed all my tags. So what I've decided to do, this is kind of similar colour and it has the same sort of theme with the cogs, so I thought I would cut my tags out of this. Right, so here's my tag. So all I need to do now is chop one corner off and then chop the same on the other side. So line it up. Do it obviously with a pair of scissors if you so desire. I just don't trust my ability with a pair of scissors, so I'm just using a steel rule and a scalpel, which doesn't always work. Get off, little spare piece. I'm going to have to come in with a pair of scissors because I've gone a bit wonky there, just a little bit. There we go. There we have a tag. That's one done, so I'm going to do the other one in the same way and then I'll come back to you. So here are the final three products that I made. I made two tags and then I made one that's just a card. And my thought is one of the tags can pop in here. One of the cards can go either in here or in here. And the tag, bigger tag, can go in this back pocket. Okay, so what I thought we would do is put some letters onto the tags and ink up the edges just so that they look, so that they look a little bit more finished. So I'm just going to do a very straight line with the ink pad. I'm not going to do my usual grunginess. I'm just putting ink around the edge, because I just think sometimes you don't want to do the overlap, and this is one such occasion. If, however, I happen to make a mistake and bring it over the edge too much, I'll just decide to do that all the way around. So what I'm thinking on here is to use my Tim Holtz letters, which I'm rather enjoying using just at the moment. I've had them for ages and hardly used them, and then this last few weeks they have been prolifically used, let us say. Right, so I want to put notes on one of these. I'm thinking I'm going to put it on this one. So in my mind this bit's going to stick out, so I want to put notes just coming down here like this. Obviously if you did something similar, it's entirely up to you what words you put on, where you put them, but this is just what makes sense to me. E and S. So with these, what I would say to you, burnish them well, so give them a good rub. You can do that with your thumb, with your fingernail, with a bone folder, with the end of your scalpel, whatever it is you want to do it with. But now we have some writing on there, so we know what that's going to be used for now. That's for notes. If you want to, you can actually draw on the back of it. I'm leaving them blank. So what's this one going to be? I'm going to put love on this one, I think. Do we have an L on there? No, we don't. Give a little bit like, is it Bob Holness? Can I have an L, please, Bob? L. O. I can even spell. I'm impressed. I'm going to do these ones offset. And a little bit wonky. Because I think it looks nice when things are a bit wonky. Maybe it's just because my brain's a little bit wonky, but I like them. So that one's got love on it. I'm thinking I need something else on that one, but I'm not sure what. On this one, I've decided to use the fabulous Diane Reevely. Yeah, that one. These are, I can't remember what they're called, what the set's called, but they're just brilliant. They're just really funny sayings that she's made up. So this one is, rather than agreeing to disagree, rather than agreeing to disagree, why don't you just be quiet? They're just brilliant. I've always felt a little bit uncomfortable using them because I thought people might be offended. I'm now at the stage where I think I don't care if people are offended by them. So rather than agreeing to disagree, why don't you just be quiet? See, I would have said shut up. As you just heard me nearly say. Okay, so we're getting there with this now. This green thing, I really must put it away. So this one I'm going to put in the back here. This one I'm going to put in the front. And this one I'm going to put here. So we're now starting to get a book that's got a little bit of character. It's got other areas that people can actually stick their own things on with. But I'm wanting to put more on. So what else can we put on? I'm going to pull out some of my bits and bobs. I quite like this circle. I keep coming back to these circles, but I actually quite like them. And I think they look nice just on that page like that. I think I may have solved one of the blanks. Yes, I have. I'm just going to do it. Before I change my mind, stick it on. So I'm purposely not doing it so that it aligns in the same direction colour-wise as the rest of the page, because that's not the idea. The idea is that these stand out. So bear in mind with your wet glue it can take a little bit longer for things to stick, so you sometimes just have to hold, or as I said earlier in one of the other videos, just put a book on top of it. So I'm going to find some other bits and bobs and pop them on as well. So I've managed to locate a few different options. I've got some little potion bottles. I found an arrow. I'm sure I've got a million other arrows. And then I found some light bulbs. I wasn't sure about the colours on this one, so I thought I could try them. Audition them if you like. But I definitely like the black light bulbs. In fact, I don't want that one, but I do like that one. I think I like it there. That might work. And that one might go there. And then we could have a selection of bottles on this page. They need some colour, but yes, I like them. And then we could have, oops, come here little arrow, an arrow here. We'll have it pointing at an angle there, I think. Yeah, it's all adding a little bit more. So we're wanting to stick with the same sort of colours. I think it would be useful if we just brought our paints back in and used some watered down paint, although this is actually already translucent, so this may suffice for some of them. Way too much, Angela, just for a change. Get my brush. So because it's translucent, it's already got the option of seeing through it. So I'm just going to do this as if the whole bottle is green and the writing is actually embossed as opposed to a label, because I like that idea. I think we're going to have a second one in that colour as well because I put so much out. And then I'm going to have to do a mop up on another page. Right, so we've got 2 bottles done. The other one that I'm going to use will be, I think I'll use a purple, but I'm going to do it a little bit of paint and a shed load of water, because then we get the wash effect, because this isn't a translucent one. Get my brush again, and then let's get a little wash going on. There we go. So we can have it a little bit darker at the top where the bottle top is. There we go. And let's do this one in the same colour. This is such an easy way of colouring things. If you do want to do them all in individual colours and really carefully, you can. But I just love these stamps because they are a really good opportunity to just slap on a little bit of colour and not worry too much about it. This ragget is on its way to the washing machine, I think. Right, so now we have these. They need to go on their appropriate page. They will dry quite quickly, so I'm not worried about drying them just yet. I'm just going to pop them on. I'm going to get another bottle of glue. Let's get a little bit more in it. Comes out way too fast. That's too much glue, Angela. Way too much glue. Right, we're going to go purple first. Then we're going to go green. If you do find you have excess glue, just move on to the next thing you want to stick and stick it on. Then we're going to go purple again. You can see from the colour of my hands I really don't do careful crafting. Liking how this is turning out though. I think it's a bit lovely. It's the sort of thing that I'd really enjoy working in and adding notes to and adding other bits to. Okay, so let's see where we're at now. We have our first page with a little tag that we can do lots of writing on. Notes on this page. We can also write on here or stick photos on here or whatever we want to do. Leaving this one, someone can pop what they want in there. We've got lots of areas to stick other things if we want to on this page. And then we've got our really cool tag in there. Now I did pick up a little bit of lace and I was wondering if I could use it. I was thinking possibly on the front of here, but it would need to be a different colour. Right, I'm thinking that's still going to be too long because I think I've miscut. Oh no, that'll do. Right, so how are we going to colour this up? There's my mat, and I think if I start off by drenching this with water, oh, it's on other colours, so that's not going to work too well, is it? And then we'll go, we're putting it on blue, we want it in purple, don't we? So we'll use a little bit of this. Just going to pop some on. And pop a little bit more water on. And then I'm literally just going to mush it up This is high-tech coloration. Okay, so we now have purple ribbon. Just needs to be dried off and then it's ready to apply. So I'll give it a quick blast and then come back to you. So here we have the piece of ribbon, so I'm going to stick that on, and then I'm actually going to think that this is done. Thank you very much for watching, and hopefully I'll see you very soon. Bye for now.